Hey guys, what's up? It's the Rookie Revolution, and I know, you are all super excited about double agents, and I am too, but today we will be going over even more challenge conspiracy theories. The last theory video got such good reception, and I just want to thank each and every one of you. This video will work the exact same as the first part, so I recommend watching that part first, but pretty much I'll be breaking down the theory and then saying if I believe it with a banana scale. But without further ado, let's just get right into it.
So I'm gonna go ahead and take the money and run, Teach.
This is a game!
The first conspiracy theory we'll be going over today takes us all the way back to the Duel 1, in one certain sketchy elimination game. I think most of you can guess the elimination game I'm talking about, and if you're thinking I can, you would be wrong. It is Push Me. This elimination game was just fishy. It was a good concept in which you and your opponent are on opposite sides of the pole and you push till you get to your flag. The whole thing though was that you had to unclip a very unstable and wonky carabiner, which brings us to Beth vs Svetlana. It was the first time we saw this game and Beth had a lot of weight on Svetlana, so she was pretty easily able to rip her flag off, but she also ripped the carabiner out of the ground, so it really wasn't her fault. It was very loose and not stable. The theory is that production really just liked Svetlana more and implemented the not breaking the carabiner rule after to keep Svetlana in the game, which makes sense as Svetlana thought she lost and Beth thought she won, but it did say in the rules you must unclip, not yank.
Whoever gets to that flag first, you can't just rip the flag off, all right? You have to undo the carabiner and then retrieve the flag.
Just a clip? Okay.
Yeah.
I believe this theory somewhat. I mean, I'll give it 8 bananas out of 10 on the believability scale, but the reason being I might believe is that production loves Svetlana, so I can see them changing the rules, but unfortunately if they did that, it also bit them in the butt when CT did the same thing. But let's say CT and Brad was the first time we saw this elimination, and they didn't already implement the Svetlana win. I feel CT's win they would have counted. And like I said before, it was said on the rules that you had to carefully unclip, but this one's just really hard to judge. It's a really flawed elimination in general if it happens twice. Also, a very reliable spoiler account back in the day from Vevmo said production was debating for like 30 minutes whether or not to give Beth the win, but they gave it to Svetlana because they found her more entertaining. Overall, it's just a messy elimination and a good conspiracy theory.
I'm thinking this is going to be pretty easy for me.
Svetlana, you lost.
It ripped off. The rules say that you have to unclip the flag from the carabiner in order to win. Beth rips off the flag instead of unclipping it properly, and Beth is DQ'd.
TJ says that I got DQ. Please, anybody that has watched this competition clearly sees that I'm the winner.
Okay, let's go a bit forward with a theory from Free Agents. This theory involves the iconic Bananas vs Jordan elimination. This theory is that production set up the Wrecking Wall elimination in hopes Jordan wouldn't flip all the cards and face Bananas in elimination. Okay, let me try to break this down. So, Jordan and Johnny was a feud building up all season, and in this specific round, Jordan had been telling everyone that he was going to be pulling all the kill cards, which would mean he would face Bananas in elimination. Jordan had been telling production this, and they were well aware.
It's time to start taking some good players out. And number 1 on my list is Johnny Bananas. I will flip every single card until I get that kill card. I'll send you home.
Jordan made it very clear that it should not be Wrecking Wall because it gives him a disadvantage with his hand. So they were hoping when he saw the elimination he would back down and wouldn't do his plan.
I see the wall already. I'm like, oh man, this is the one elimination round that I could see Jordan giving himself second thoughts on flipping all these cards.
I mean, this is an interesting theory because I don't really see why production wouldn't want the biggest matchup of the season to not happen. Maybe they wanted the rivalry for more episodes.
Oh, I've done more in this show than you will ever do.
You're talking this big. You better do it.
I also don't really think they chose Wrecking Wall for Jordan to back down. There was a very clear rotation of eliminations that season, and Wrecking Wall was next. Some also claimed Wrecking Wall was just a for sure win for Johnny, and I'm going to give this theory a solid 4 bananas on the believability scale because I truly think Wrecking Wall was actually the next elimination in the rotation, but I do think it was fishy that production would not want it to be more physical in this matchup, though even if it messed up the rotation just a little bit, but they should have made it a better elimination. Production also could have told Jordan he couldn't flip all the cards when Jordan was telling them he was. This is a pretty difficult one, but I'm leaning towards it's just a lot of things that look like it was intentional when it really wasn't. I mean, people claim the sledgehammer elimination wasn't fair on X's 2 for Jordan, and look what happened. This is definitely the most complicated theory on this list, but I actually personally didn't care for this rivalry that much, and I think whoever won would have been a solid outcome.
I wish that Laura would tell me, don't do this.
Jordan's major handicap isn't his hand, it's his pride.
That was the biggest bonehead move I've ever seen, dude.
You got served tonight, bro.
Okay, the next conspiracy theory is actually pretty silly, but it's also kind of confirmed. This involves the Susie vs. Kimberly elimination on the ruins. This theory is that the rain when they were wrestling for the rope was fake, and it was just a sprinkler to make the girls look quote-unquote better. This one is so silly, but Susie actually confirmed this was true. And I guess for some, it would be more visually exciting for it to rain while wrestling for a rope, I guess. I think this theory is quite stupid, honestly, but it's funny that this is one of the most well-known and talked about theories ever, so I'll give it a 10 bananas out of 10 on the believability scale. The rain also literally stopped after the elimination was over. The next theory involves a season's winner and if they really won. Let's look at Invasion of the Champions. This was CT's comeback story, and it was an epic conclusion to a whole CT redemption arc. CT ended up becoming the champ of the champs this season and made the final and won by 2 minutes, barely edging out Nelson.
You know, 2 minutes and 22 seconds is only how much you won by.
But what if Nelson was really the winner? This theory is that the final was rigged for CT and that Nelson actually won. Let's look at why some might think that. Let's start with how much swimming was in this final. We all know Nelson is not the best swimmer and CT is an excellent swimmer.
I am not the strongest swimmer.
Well, some think they added more water to help CT. Nelson did better in most of the running portions, and most importantly, was the only male to complete the tightrope.
It's easy.
I really don't believe this theory, honestly, as I don't think there's enough proof. CT completed more of the checkpoints way faster than Nelson. I do think production wanted CT to win, as it was the perfect ending to his story, which, as we know, never ended, but I don't think they helped him win the final. I actually think production likes it when they crown new champions. It gives them more leeway for more themes of new seasons. This theory will get 2 bananas out of 10 on the believability scale for me, as I really think Nelson just simply lost by 2 minutes. But I do hope Nelson gets his title in the future for sure.
I want this so bad. People don't realize how bad I want it.
The next theory I will be talking about is the final female elimination on Rivals 1. Jasmine and Jonna were going up against Laurel and Cara Maria, and up to that point in the season, there were all unique eliminations and no repeats. Well, let's fast forward to here. They walk into the elimination arena and they see the same elimination that Kenny and Wes beat Tyree and Davis in, which was a mega physical elimination all about brute strength. Jasmine and Jonna were the smallest team by far. This theory is that they made this the only repeat elimination because it was a guaranteed win for Laurel and Cara Maria. I mean, watch back this elimination. Laurel and Cara literally carried Jonna and Jasmine out of the ring.
I'm using every ounce of strength right now.
It was unfair, and I completely see that they wanted Cara and Laurel in the final for more competition, so I think it's a totally possible theory, and for that reason, it is getting a 9 bananas out of 10 on the believability scale. All they had to do was not give them the only repeat elimination for it not to seem fishy.
Laurel looks like a defensive lineman on an NFL football team. Then you got poor little Jasmine over here. It looks like a 7-year-old Girl Scout.
Okay, finally, let's talk about the Gauntlet 3 final. This theory is that production wanted the rookies to win because the vets finished the final first, but they enforced a rule saying you couldn't leave anybody behind after they finished.
Team can only win if all the players cross the finish line.
We all know Big Easy passed out and was evacuated for whatever reason, but the rookies that season were pulling way ahead, and it looked like the final was theirs to win. After Big Easy was evacuated, the vets caught up. and actually finished the final first. The biggest thing for me is when Big Easy got DQ'd, the vets couldn't win anymore. I mean, why not DQ them right there instead of giving them false hope and making them keep running? It was great TV and a great end to a season, but I mean, it was just a bit mean. I am personally super happy the rookie team won, as Frank Rossler is one of my favorites of all time. I will give this 5 bananas on the scale, as I honestly don't know if the rule was made up, as I think it was just handled really badly by production.
What the he's dying, she's crying, what the
Thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter, link in the description. I hope you all enjoyed, and thank you all again for the massive support. See you all next video, and take care.